It's been great. I mean, the thing that I really like about it is all these guys came from winning programs. Holland was a really good point guard. Arsenal won the national championship game. Darian Williams was, one of the best players on an Elite 8 team. We have a lot of winning pieces. And now Movement played in the tournament more again. So that stuff translates. And obviously, it could be viewed as coach speak, they all came from winning programs and hard coaches. But at the end of the day, there is something to winning. That Final Four team with Loyola, I think, had 9 state champions on it. So winning is a skill, and we've kind of baked that into the metric with the on-off splits, weighing and giving players boosts if they make their team better or worse on the floor. And we can kind of look at their usage rates and how they're better. Trey Holloman, his usage rate at Michigan State spiked this year. He shot 44% when his usage was slightly lower the year before that. So if we can tinker with those things and find things in the margins, we're going to have a recipe for a lot of success.
Definitely. You talk about using the models to build a team, but how much do you use them in season to help figure out what the right combinations are?
Yeah, we do a ton of that stuff. So, for example, if we got a team that, there's a strong correlation between their rebounding performance and their winning percentage or their pace of play, we can look at, our top 4 or 5 lineups that play at, our fastest pace, or they grab rebounds at the highest rate while not sacrificing scoring efficiency. So definitely looking into a lot of tinkering with the lineups, but also from, monitoring the board, setting our sights on guys, looking at, possible players for the next season, just having a consistent gauge of the temperature of the entire college basketball ecosystem, all the players, who fits what we're trying to do best. It's crucial. We'll lean on the model and how we value players all season.
Does anyone stick out to you as you just stuck your head in workouts and consume the NFL team?
I tell you what, Matt Abel has been outstanding. He looks the part of a 5-star that he is, and I know he was out with Team USA this past week, but Matt Abel's been outstanding. He won our PAC Player of the Week this week to start the season. But he can shoot the ball very well. He plays really well within the flow of offense. He's going to get his shots how he gets them without creating any stress or forcing things on that. He's an awesome freshman. Sometimes freshmen come in, it takes a little bit of adjustment. I think he's going to be great right out the gates. He's been awesome. And obviously D5, he's going to be outstanding. I could say something positive about all our guys. We feel really good about this team.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
How do you kind of balance trying to project players who are now in different roles for NC State? Maybe they were the 4th guy or the 5th guy at their previous stop, but you saw something in them that you knew you could make them more elevated, I guess.
Yep. So, some of it is going to have to do with their role at the team. So a good example there would be Arsenal, and we'll lean on the on-off splits like I mentioned, but Terrence made Houston's defense better than any other player on that team from a plus-minus standpoint when he was on the floor. So seeing that, and then also knowing that they played, 3 out, 2 in with 2 bigs, and, the floor was sometimes crowded in the paint, and the team takes a lot of runners. And inefficient shots like that. And Terrence is a really good slasher, getting to the basket, really good cutter. So us naturally having more spacing and taking more threes will help him in that regard. Terrence shot 40% from 3 through the first 3 months of the season last year, and then he tailed off a bit at the end. But we feel really good about him being able to kind of maintain that this season. If he can do that, he's been someone that has been talked about in NBA draft board since he came into college as a freshman. So we feel really good about his ability to kind of translate better in our system than he did out at Houston.
Are there times where the math says one thing but the eyeballs say a different thing, either good or bad?
Oh, for sure. And that's where you can't completely lean on the analytics, but you also can't completely disregard them. And I think those teams have a blend of both. And Coach Wade's very cognizant of the numbers, and he subscribes to them. And he's going to always believe in kind of what they're telling him. But he likes to say he uses them as GPS, and when he gets to close enough, he likes to sometimes deviate if he knows a faster route, and that's about him being a good coach and having feel for that. But it's always going to be a healthy blend. You can't win a game on a spreadsheet. They're humans, and there's so many dynamics within it, and Coach is really good at balancing all those.
I think if I heard him right, he said that Darian Williams was not just the best transfer in the portal, but the best returning basketball player to college basketball, according to the analytics.
Yep, and so what goes into that is his scoring efficiency, his on-off splits. So Texas Tech were 7 to 8 points better when he was on the floor, and that's a team that was, had a 9-point lead on Florida in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four, and a team that already beat Houston at Houston. So you're talking about a player that could have been the best player on the best team in the country had they held on to a lead or got a different bounce down the stretch. We're really high on Darian, and he's going to be outstanding for us.
How does it kind of work with high school recruits, where obviously Synergy provides stats, but is there a separate system maybe for high school kids that you evaluate?
Yeah, so
Like say Matthew Abel when he was in high school.
yeah, so we look a lot at the shooting numbers in high school. This usually translates well, and things that historically translate well to the NBA, so steal rate, free throw rate, kids that are disruptive and naturally have an inclination for making an impact on the game in that way with athleticism and their skill set. Those are the biggest things. But we've kind of got a listing of the last 5 years of players and how they've done in high school on the circuit. We can kind of go look back and find correlations between what stats are really valued and things that translate well. And Matt Abel checked a lot of those boxes for us, and that's why he ended up here. But he's exceeded all expectations even that we had of him. He's been outstanding to start the summer.